So, I have some exciting news that I want to share with you. I am pregnant! Woo! I'm pregnant and I'm so excited.
Welcome to the Multiple Truths podcast. We're your hosts, Holly and Brittany. This is a space where we can come together healing in community, where we share our self-love journeys, insights, and wisdom.
A space with no hierarchy or judgment, fostering love, compassion, and respect, and where we honor our differences. With open minds and hearts, everyone's truth is welcome here. We are in this together.
Let's dive into the episode.
Hello and welcome back. You are here with Holly, and today I am just going to do a short little solo episode, just doing a little bit of a life update, what I have been moving through, what has been going on in my life. And yeah, I'm excited to dive into it. I'm just going to allow myself to just kind of like speak freely, allow whatever wants to come through, because I find for me, something I'm really going to be intentional about in 2026 is not being so structured. Like normally when I go into a podcast episode, especially if I'm having a guest, I like to really be prepared. I want to know what we're talking about. Obviously I let it go on its own side tangents and all of that. And when Brittany and I have conversations, it's very much conversational and that's not really planned. Like we know what we're going to talk about. But I find for my solo episodes, I've only done one, I think prior, or maybe two. But I'm typically very prepared. Like I know what I'm going to say. I feel very prepared. I know the ways that I want to speak about things. And I think something for me that's really going to challenge me this year is just allowing myself to show up authentically and just speak freely without overthinking and needing to plan and kind of release that bit of control, which has been a huge theme in my life recently, is releasing the need for control. So this is going to be a little practice, a little test for me. Obviously, I know what I'm going to be speaking about, but I have no script, I have no plan, I have no notes. Actually, I do have some notes on my phone because I want to make sure I hit everything. But yeah, I'm just going to allow myself to speak freely, which is new for me. So I hope that, yeah, maybe for you, if you find yourself that you need to have scripts or you like to be really prepared, maybe this is a little invitation for you to just allow yourself to just trust yourself and speak freely and follow your heart and trust what you have to say and just showing up more authentically, even if it's messy, even if you mess up, because I'm probably going to misspeak or miss something as I'm talking, and that's okay. So, but before I dive into all of that, I hope that you are having a really beautiful start to the new year and just going slow and steady. I think there is so much pressure when the new year hits to immediately dive into hitting your goals and going to the gym and eating healthier and smashing work goals and all of that. And, Brittany and I have talked about having goals, and that's beautiful. And yes, have goals of what you're moving towards and working towards, like absolutely. But I think there's such a pressure to like start right on January 1 and like hit the ground running. But I know for me, I haven't done like anything this year. And it's the 14th as I'm filming this, so it's only been a couple weeks, but I haven't done like anything. And I just want to normalize that. Like it's okay. It's still winter. We're still shedding. And just allow yourself to, yeah, be gentle with yourself and know that you have the full rest of the year and there's no pressure to like hit the ground running and you're not behind if you haven't started anything. Like tomorrow is a new day and just be slow and be steady. So I just hope you're having a beautiful start to the new year, however you rung that in, if you celebrate. And yeah, beautiful holiday season and are just getting a chance to spend some time in solitude because I know the holidays, there's just a lot going on and you're around a lot of people. I know I was around a lot of people and I really needed to just kind of like be with myself and regain my energy and spend some time in solitude. So I hope that you've gotten a chance to take care of yourself and fill your cup up. But with that, so I have some exciting news that I want to share with you. I am pregnant. Woo! I'm pregnant and yeah, I'm so excited. Sorry, I am so emotional. Like if obviously if anyone has been pregnant and you're listening to this episode, you just know your hormones are all over the place. Oh my God. I'm not. Yeah, I'm just so emotional, but I'm so excited. Eric and I are so excited. And at the time of this coming out, I am going to be 14 weeks, which I cannot believe. It's gone by fast, but also I'm going to get into I have had the most severe morning sickness ever. Like, I feel like I have been like just really struggling through first trimester, which I know can be a really common experience for women. And also, like, some women don't experience morning sickness at all. And this is not me complaining. I'm going to share like kind of what I've been moving through. And it's not to be complaining. Like, I am so grateful to be pregnant. I know that it is such an honor and such a privilege to be pregnant. And I am so sensitive to the fact that there are so many women that can't get pregnant. And I just don't want this to come off as me complaining at all. I just really want to bring in some realness and rawness and honesty into this conversation, because sometimes when we think of pregnancy, it's like glamorous, like amazing. Like, I love my pregnancy. It was beautiful and amazing. And I'm hoping that I get to experience that. But right now, my pregnancy has been anything but glamorous. And I just want to be honest about that. And yeah, just bring some realness into the space. Um, which I'll get to. But by the time that this is coming out, I don't know the gender yet, but we did get a blood test done. And I think I will know by the time this episode comes out, which by the time this episode comes out, I'm thinking I'll probably announce on my social medias as well. Like, I haven't announced, I've just told close family and friends, which has been really beautiful. Um, but yeah, so I'll be 14 weeks, and Eric and I both have a feeling we know what the gender is, but we are genuinely so open and just want a healthy, happy baby. That's all we want. Um, and if you hear me, like, it's so hard. Like, I am so puffed all of the time, like, even sitting, and that's why I'm also like on my couch, no makeup. Just if you're watching, I'm like fully just like, I don't have the capacity or energy to like get ready, or I'm just on my couch hanging out, because this is really all that I have the energy for, because the first trimester really has taken me out. But so Eric and I have been thinking about, having kids for a while now. We've been very thoughtful about it. And these last 4 years specifically have been really us focusing on ourselves and going on our own, really focusing on our healing and learning more about our triggers and diving into our own pain, and like really being knee deep in our own pain, and learning how to love ourselves and have healthy communication and work through our triggers and just have a really solid base. And Eric got sober from alcohol about 4 years ago. Because he, was really struggling with alcohol. There's alcoholism within his family. And that was a really big thing. So we got married in 2020. We've been together for 11 years. And alcohol was always something that was really kind of a riff in Eric and my relationship, but we both drank a lot. In college, we met in college at Ohio University, and I knew with alcohol, like, I would never want to bring children into that. So we weren't even seriously considering kids, because I could never bring children into just alcoholism. I really didn't want that. And so Eric made the decision to get sober 4 years ago. And that was actually, we did our first plant medicine ceremony together. That was both of our first experiences with plant medicine. And Eric had a really big realization during that ceremony with us together, just about how much alcohol was hurting him in his life and his relationship with himself, our relationship, just how much it was negatively impacting his life. He really saw that and had a really big breakthrough around how much pain he had been suppressing, and how alcohol was, you know, a Band-Aid, and he was never the type to be drinking every night. It was more along the lines of the alcoholism where like once he started drinking, he couldn't stop. And, that would lead to blackouts and embarrassment for him, for me, for, all of that. And he needed to see that alcohol was really hindering his own life. And it was really a big block in our relationship too. And so he made the decision to get sober after that ceremony that we had together. And that changed the trajectory of our life, of our relationship. Yeah, we've just both been 4 years onwards, have both been really dedicated to our own healing. And 4 years ago, also, I stopped drinking because I'm the type where I would drink, but it was more along the lines of like my social anxiety. And that's just what was normalized was drinking. But like I got the worst hangovers in the world. So I always wanted to stop drinking. Um, so when Eric decided to stop, I stopped with him. So both him and I haven't drank for like 4 years, maybe even like a little over that. And I'm just so proud of Eric. And we've come so far in our relationship. And just, I really feel like Eric is really breaking the cycle of alcoholism within his lineage. And, I feel like both of us are just in really good places mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And so we've been knee deep in our own pain, digging up our own shit, being in that individually together, getting the support that we need. Eric's in a men's group. I was leaning on my other communities that I've created and who have felt called to work with, and he consistently is with his men's group. And so we have communities separately, and then we worked together to really like work on our relationship. So we have a really solid base, but that took a long time, 4 years of really figuring out what our relationship was without alcohol, and having to learn how to communicate and all of these things. So the past couple years, like specifically this last year, we both started to feel ready for children. We just feel like we're in a really good place and we're really excited. And of course, we're still thinking about, the cost of living, the cost of childcare, the cost of healthcare in the States, and just the state of our world and all of these things. Like, we have put so much thought into having children. I think more than anyone that I've really talked to, like Eric and I have been really intentional and really thoughtful around if we want to have children. And this past year specifically, it was like, we just do really feel like we are in a really good place. And I have hope and faith that our world is going to get better. And continuing to use our voices and share our experiences and our stories and share our light. And the world needs healing and all of that. So we have hope for the world, and, we're feeling good financially, and we're feeling really good, like solid stability from within ourselves and within our relationship. So we feel in a really good place. And so we started trying. I asked like the soul of our baby, who we've been feeling for a really long time, like the past 11 years, we have felt this soul with us. And we know that we've been doing all of this healing work also for our children, for our future babies, so we don't pass on our pain. And that's just what we have felt really called to do. Not saying that's the route for everyone. And we're still, our children will still Eric and I are far from perfect. But I think that's the beauty, is like, we know we don't have to be perfect, but we know how to talk through and feel our emotions and talk through anything and get through anything. And that's what we want to really instill in our children, is just healthy communication, allowing themselves to feel and to talk through things and understand things. And we know that we're not perfect, and we're not going to, we'll still, pass on things and deal with our own things, but we just feel in a really good place. So I asked the soul of our little baby, who we feel has been with us since our relationship has started. And I said, okay, if you're ready, like, you let me know when you're ready. Like, Dad and I feel ready, so you let me know when you feel ready. And I shared this prior on the podcast before. But so I put that out to the universe, and I went for a run, and there was this boy in front of me on my run, and the back of his sweatshirt said, "Mom, come pick me up." And I had just prayed that morning to that soul, like, we feel ready now. You let us know when you're ready. And then I'm on the run, and I see that shirt, and I just am like, what in the world? Like, I've never seen a sweatshirt like that. And I was just like, I got so emotional and I was like, that is such a clear sign. And I'm someone who really believes in signs. Like I trust signs, I trust my guides, I trust my higher self, I trust my spirit guides, I trust God and source and the plan. And so I'm always looking out, and that just felt like a clear sign from spirit, from the soul of that baby, like it is time to start trying. So we got that message in August of this year. And so I had never tracked my ovulation before. I've had consistent periods. Well, there was a period in college where I lost my period completely. But I got my period back. And now, with healing my relationship with food and body and movement and all of that, but I had never tracked my period. I knew it was pretty regular, but I had never tracked it. So I started tracking, but we got that message in August and I was like, okay, based on my period, I think I might be ovulating around this time, but I'm not quite sure. So we first started trying in August, but like I didn't quite know my cycle, the ovulation period yet. So that was kind of just like, let's just try it and see what happens. And so we tried in August. Then I ended up getting my period in September. And I was like, that's fine. Cause like we really just started and I had no idea. I was just figuring out like my cycle and all of that kind of stuff and like all of that. So I wasn't really upset at that time. And then in September, I figured my ovulation window out. And it was when Eric's grandma and brother were going to be visiting us in Santa Cruz for like 5 days. And it was like literally the whole time I was ovulating was the time that they were in town. And I was like, oh my God, this is just, you obviously have to have sex to get pregnant. And they were staying in our place. And I'm like, I don't feel comfortable having sex while your grandma and brother are in the next room. Like that just doesn't feel good to me. That doesn't feel like a journey I want to go on. I just, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. But I just was like, oh my God. Okay. So we tried like a couple days prior and after they left, but not really during the actual ovulation window. So then I ended up getting my period again in October. And then, I kid you not, then I tracked my ovulation for October, and Eric's mom and boyfriend were coming to visit us that month and staying with us for 5 days. And it was during the 5 day period, like of my ovulation. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing that again when your mom and Christopher are in a separate room. Like that just, I don't like the idea of that. And so again, we tried like a couple days prior to ovulation, a couple days after when they left. And I was like, I just feel like there's no way. There's just no way. And maybe this isn't the time. Maybe we got the time. Maybe like, that's when I started second guessing myself. I'm like, maybe that wasn't a sign and maybe we got the timings wrong. And like, and I really just tried to like surrender it up because Eric and I are really, we're so happy with the life that we've created and we love each other and we love this life. And obviously we want to have children. Obviously, like we're so excited. But I was like, maybe that's not our journey. Maybe I got it wrong. So then I got my period again. And then I was like, okay, we're just going to try, since no one is visiting us. My ovulation was around like the end of October to early November. I was like, we're just going to go full force here. If it's meant to be, it'll be full surrender, taking off any and all pressure. Cause that's another thing. Like during this whole time, like Eric and I wanted to make sure we weren't putting pressure on ourselves because I didn't want to put pressure on my body and myself. Cause I think like when there's pressure to get pregnant, it almost like, for me, I feel like it would have put me in fight or flight. And it wouldn't have been fun. Like I wanted it to be enjoyable. I wanted us to, be making love and it be a love baby and it be fun and exciting. And yeah, so I just didn't want to put any pressure on it. So I was like, okay, well, I know when I'm ovulating end of October, early November. So like we're gonna go for it. We're still gonna make it fun. Obviously, we know when I'm ovulating. So like we gotta do it during that period, but still taking the pressure off, making it fun. And that time was when I got pregnant. So I had a feeling. I just had a feeling. I was like, maybe that it wasn't, with his mom and grandma coming prior, like that was a beautiful time to be with family and just like, the last time we'll spend with them with me not being pregnant and just being us and all of that. And I kind of felt like after we, knew I was ovulating at the end of October, then I don't know. I was like, I trust that whatever it's meant to be, it will be. So I ended up being a couple days late on my period, and I was like very aware of when my period was going to be. And I waited a couple days because I started to get anxious. I really didn't want to get my hopes up and then me like look at the test and it be negative. So I just like really I waited like 6 or 7 days after my missed period, and I was like, okay, I like actually feel like I'm pregnant. So I went to go get a test. I got 3 tests. It was one kit and it came with 3 tests. And I came home and Eric got done with work and I took the pregnancy test just like in the bathroom, all 3 of them at once, and I like set them on our kitchen table. And Eric and I think it takes like 3 minutes to be able to see the results or something like that. So I was like, oh my God. Okay. So like I took them, we put them on the table and I was like, we can't look. We need to just like both turn around, turn the other way and like watch the clock until it's 3 minutes. And then you look and you tell me. And so we were waiting and I was just like, oh my God, just obviously praying and just whatever. I was just really trying to not get my hopes up. Both of us were just like, if it's meant to be, it'll be. And so then we both ended up actually looking after the 3 minutes and all 3 tests were positive. I did not think I was going to get so emotional. I've been so emotional. It has been insane. But yeah, and all of the tests were positive and we were just like so excited, so emotional, so excited. And it was like a really beautiful moment because I was really thinking about, there's nothing wrong with this, but you see some people like filming their pregnancies and if they got pregnant or not. And I was like really going back and forth, like, do I want to film this? Do I not? Because obviously I have a presence on social media, which I'll get to. I haven't been present on social media because I've had zero capacity for output. But like, should I film this for my social media? Should I film it for my family to see? And ultimately, like, it just didn't feel true for me. It didn't feel authentic to me. And I'm not saying that's not for other people. I think for me personally, I can get really uncomfortable on camera because I know I'm being filmed. I know I'm being watched. So therefore I feel like sometimes it like I feel like it changes my reaction or I get uncomfortable. And I just wanted to fully be in that moment with Eric. And yeah, it was just really beautiful to just have that really special moment together, just like in this home in Santa Cruz, in our new home that we love so much, and just in our little kitchen, just so excited. So it was a really beautiful moment. And we went to go get ice cream afterwards. And then I ended up just like calling my mom straight away because I just like needed my mom to know. I just wanted her to know, needed her to know. So I have such a special relationship with my mom. I love her more than anything. And she's like my biggest supporter. And I'm just so grateful for her. And so and obviously my whole family, but like, the mother-daughter bond for me and my mom and I is very real. And I just wanted to call her and tell her. And she was so excited. And she happened to be in like this bath. She had just saged her bathtub area and she was taking a bath. She was in the dark, like taking care of herself and just listening to music. And it just felt very ceremonial, even calling my mom after she had just like saged her whole space and just being in this sacred space, taking care of herself and being alone. I was able to share with her and she was so emotional and so excited. And then, yeah, I was just really excited to share with her. And then we knew we were going home for the holidays, which it actually just felt like a really beautiful, like everything really lined up for us in a really beautiful way, which I'm just so grateful for. Because Eric and I haven't been back to Ohio to visit our family at all this year. We were just planning it because they came to visit us because we moved to Santa Cruz. So my dad and my stepmom came to visit, and then my mom and my stepdad came to visit, and then Eric's mom and Christopher, her boyfriend, and then Eric's grandma and Tommy came to visit. So we had a lot of visitors this year. But I and Eric and I hadn't gone home to Ohio to be with our family. And like my sister's there, who I love so much, her grandbaby or her children, she has 3 kids. And then my brother, and he has 2 kids, and obviously their husband and wives. And just like, I love my family so much. And I love Eric's family so much, but we just hadn't been home for this year at all. So um it felt like kind of a little wink from the universe, like, yes, you get to go home and tell everyone the news. So, and be with them in person, because like, we're in California, they're in Ohio, so we might have had to FaceTime them, but we actually got to be with them in person, to tell them in person, except my mom, because obviously I just like wanted her to know. And obviously, like, which I haven't gone into yet, but I was struggling so much with morning sickness. Like, I needed someone to know. And I'm so glad, like, I'm glad I told my mom, because I was like, is this normal what I'm going through? But anyway, so Eric and I ended up making little ornaments for our family, Christmas ornaments. And it was just a picture of us at the beach, like our favorite place that we love to go to. And then it said, um, we're having a baby coming in 2026. And yeah, we ended up just being able to like give it to everyone individually when we were back at home. And I ended up telling my sister and my dad when I first got into town, because I stayed with my sister when I was in Ohio. And she has 2 little girls, and then she just had a baby boy. And I gave the ornament to Cam and Kennedy, and I said, okay, go give this to your mommy and daddy, and then go give this to grandpa. And so they went and gave the ornaments um, to them. And my sister was like so emotional, and my dad was emotional, and just like everyone was, yeah, just so excited. And then my brother ended up coming over to my sister's place that night, which was perfect. And then his wife and Leo and Avery, his 2 kids, came over, and then I got to give them the ornament. And then Cameron and Kennedy were like, Aunt Holly's having a baby. And it was just so cute. Like, all the kids were so excited. Like, all the little ones were so excited. And everyone was just really sweet. Like, everyone was really excited. And it was just a really beautiful moment that I just won't forget. I'm so grateful that I got to have that. With my family, and just everyone be so excited, because obviously, you guys know, I shared something really personal this year about, how I had an abortion 11 years ago, and I shared that with my family, most of my family members this year. And, you know, all of them were very supportive and open, but have their own opinions and all that kind of stuff. And I didn't want that experience to take away from the excitement of Eric and I being pregnant now, because we know this is the right time for us, and we're so grateful, and we're the parents that we feel we need to be now, and can give the life to our future babies that they deserve, and all of that. And I just didn't want me sharing that story to take away from the excitement of this pregnancy. And I'm just so grateful. I didn't feel like it did at all. Like, if anything, like, it made it a more special, because I just feel like I'm not carrying around the secret. Like, I can just be fully me. Like, I don't have anything to hide. This is me. And we're so excited. And yeah, so it was just really exciting that my family was so excited, and everyone was super supportive and sweet. And that was in Cincinnati. So Eric's family's in Columbus, which is about a 2-hour drive from Cincinnati. So we stayed in Cincinnati, and then I ended up being able to, this actually felt like a really beautiful full circle moment, which I'll share with you as well. But I told you guys, if you listen to my story, I had three very close friends with me when I got my procedure done with my abortion 11 years ago. I had 3 women that were with me through it all, thick and thin. I'm so grateful for them. They were huge support to me during that time. And I was able to see all 3 of them when I was in Cincinnati. And it just happened to work out that way. Like, there are other friends that I would want to see when I'm in town, but I just didn't have the capacity, because I've been feeling so sick. Like, my morning sickness, the nausea, vomiting, fatigue has been so real for me. And I just didn't have the capacity to go see all the people that I wanted to see. And it just happened to be those three people that were with me that I ended up going and telling that I was pregnant to. And I didn't even have that realization until I was heading to the last woman's house to like let her know that I was pregnant and to like go see her and her family and like give her a huge in-person hug. And I realized when I was driving there to go see her, I was like, oh my God, three women that I've told while I've been home have been the three women that were there to support me during that point in my life when I was really at a low, when I was going through a really tough time. And it just felt like a really full circle moment, like a huge cycle has been completed and closed. An 11-year, 12-year cycle has just been like, it's like a full circle moment of like that experience with Eric. And then now we're like bringing in this new life and we're so excited and we feel ready. And those 11 years were huge preparation into us being ready to bring in this, this baby that we're going to have. And if all goes well, fingers crossed, I'm trusting everything will go well. Hello, my loves. Before we dive into the rest of the episode, I have a quick message I want to share with you. As we head into the new year, I know there's so much pressure to set those weight loss goals or to jump into a new diet or try a new fat loss supplement. And I truly understand wanting to feel good in your body. Trust me, I struggled with my body image for years, constantly trying to shrink my body. But I'm asking you, please do not waste your time or money on another diet or weight loss supplement that is only going to keep you stuck in the same toxic cycles and disconnected from yourself. Because all of the diets, supplements, promise quick fixes that are marketed at literally every corner that you look are missing the most crucial piece of actually creating long lasting change with food and your body, which is truly understanding the root of how your relationship with food, your body, and yourself came to be. Without getting to the root and understanding it, nothing will ever stick. You'll keep falling into the same patterns with food, and not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you're not addressing the root issue, the root cause. Because I'm sure that no one ever taught you why you turn to certain foods when you're feeling uncomfortable and needing comfort. That there is actually an emotion that is present that is needing to come forward and be felt, but you are suppressing with food because that is how your body and mind have found to protect you from feeling pain again. And I'm sure no one taught you the wisdom behind your cravings and what they are trying to communicate with you. And you take your power back by truly learning how to feel your emotions instead of feeding the emotions, and learning how to have more compassion and love and understanding for yourself. So, if you struggle with restricting, binging, emotional eating, body dysmorphia, or just simply want to feel more confident and safe in your body again, I created the Journey Back Home to Self program specifically for you. It's the program that I wish that I had during my darkest years of struggling. And I've poured everything that I've learned from my own healing journey and the information learned through my training at the Institute of Integrative Nutrition, where I became a certified holistic health coach. It's a 3-month self-paced online program created with such deep intention to guide you on your healing journey, to help you understand yourself, your patterns, your needs, your insecurities, and the younger parts within you that are so desperately calling out for your attention, that need you to remind them that they are enough and that their worth has nothing to do with what they look like. Inside the program, you will get weekly videos from me. We create realistic routines specifically for you to help you break those toxic cycles. And I teach you tools to really help you rebuild that trust within yourself and come more home to your body, to your mind, to your heart, to your spirit. And this isn't a quick fix, it's real healing, it's long lasting change. So, if you are ready to finally get to the root and truly heal and transform your relationship with yourself, your body, and food, this program is specifically for you. The cycle gets to end with you. And through January, I'm offering it at a discounted rate of only $222 to support you in getting started, because I want it to get into the hands of as many people as it possibly can. So, if you feel called, I really hope you answer that call, and you can click the link in the show notes to learn more. but it was just a really beautiful full circle moment. And I love those women more than anything. You know who you are. And it was so beautiful to be able to tell them, and just like so special. Like those three women are lifelong friends that I'm so incredibly grateful for. So that was a really beautiful full circle moment in Cincinnati. And even though like I just like didn't have the capacity to do much, so I was like laying around a lot, but it was still so nice to just be with all the kids and all of the kids. Like Cameron, my sister's oldest daughter, she's the one who predicted that my sister would have a boy. Caroline, my sister, didn't find out her last pregnancy if it was going to be a boy or girl. They wanted it to be a surprise. And her oldest daughter was the only one that guessed that it was going to be a boy. Everyone else guessed that it was going to be a girl, and she ended up having a boy. And I was like, oh my God, Cam, how did you know? So I really wanted Cam to put her hands on my belly and be able to tell me like, what do you think it is? Because it seems like she has a really good intuition. And she put her hands on my belly after I told her I was pregnant when I got to Cincinnati. And she just immediately said, it's twins. And I was like, what? Oh my God. No. Are you serious? You really think it's twins? So it was like a running joke. Like all of the kids thought that I was having twins, which we're not having twins. We got an ultrasound and it's just one little soul in there right now, one little baby in there right now. But I just thought that I was like, oh my God, is that why I'm having such bad morning sickness? Because I'm having twins. I was like really convinced for a moment. Because when we got home, I was only 8 weeks, 8, 9 weeks, I think like 8 weeks. So I was still pretty early, but like, if anything happened, I would want my family to know. And we would want our families to know. And it was just like, we feel like this is an opportunity to tell everyone in person. So I hadn't gotten an ultrasound by the time I had gone home. So it could have been a real possibility that I was going to have twins, but it is only one. Anyway, so we get to Columbus and we're able to tell Eric's mom and grandma and aunt and uncle and both of his brothers were in town. We were able to just tell his whole family. And this is actually their first grandbaby on Eric's side of the family. This is the first grandbaby. Whereas on my side, this is my mom's 13th grandbaby and my dad's 6th grandbaby. So like we've got a lot of kids in our family, but this is the first on Eric's side. So their family, this is just so special. Obviously it's special all across the board, but just so special. And they're so excited. And it was so sweet. And then a bunch of Eric and my good friends came over to where we were staying in Columbus. And so Eric was it's basically Eric's good guy friends from college. And obviously I've become friends with their wives or girlfriends, but it was like Eric's really good friends and he was able to tell them. And so I feel like really got to tell the people that we are closest to, just like while we were in person, and then also the ones that we couldn't, we obviously were able to tell them via text and Zoom and all of that. So, or FaceTime, not Zoom. What am I talking about? So that's been so special and so sweet to share with the people that we love the most that we're pregnant, and everyone's just so excited and we are so excited. And yeah, so that's been amazing and beautiful. And I feel like I have been fighting to survive and like quite literally fighting for my life. Like, and I'm not even exaggerating. I could have never predicted how sick I would have been. And since I knew, like, I'm just very in tune with my body and, knowing that I was pregnant right off the get go of being pregnant, it's like I already kind of felt like something was off, even like going into 2 weeks of pregnancy, because like my body was starting to change. And then 4 weeks of pregnancy, when I tell you, I feel like I got hit by a freight train. Oh my God. The fatigue, the nausea. Oh, it has been next level. And if anyone has experienced nausea before, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. Like being nauseous is it is the worst feeling in the world. And I've obviously been puking too, like vomiting. And that's just, oh God, it's just so terrible. It's been so crazy. I just could have never predicted because my sister didn't really have that bad of morning sickness. My mom said she had a bit of morning sickness and like, would throw up and then she would still have to go to work. But I just feel like this has been, I had to be in bed for 12 days straight. Like I literally couldn't move out of my bed. And there's a part of me where it's like, I just kept saying to Eric, like, I feel like I'm dying. Like, I feel like I'm dying. Like, oh my God. And my sense of smell, like, is so intense. The smell of my own kitchen and coffee and certain types of food make me nauseous. I can't even go in my kitchen sometimes because of the smell. And just the sensitivity, the food aversions, I just could have never predicted. I could have never predicted. And I just feel for it. So obviously I work for myself. I work from home and I work for myself. And I cannot imagine having to go to work feeling this way. Like I honor all of the women. It's making me emotional because like I'm being so serious. I honor all of the women that have to go into the workplace if you are feeling that bad with morning sickness, which most women experience morning sickness on like it's like a fluid, some symptoms are worse than others, but majority of women struggle with morning sickness. Like I just honor all of the women, especially like nurses, teachers, anyone that has to go into an office and be around people and speak and oh my God, I just honor you so much. Like I applaud you. I honor you. You should get an award because I don't think like we realize how intense first trimester is. It's the first trimester of pregnancy, which is like week 1 to week 14. And it can rock you. Like it has rocked me to my core, like rocked me to my core. And I just, yeah, like for all the women that have to go into the office, or be around people at all, like I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you survive because it just really feels like survival. And again, this is not complaining because I'm so grateful to be in this situation. I'm being honest about what I've been feeling because I just have been bawling in bed some days like, "Oh my God, I don't know if I can go another day." Like I don't know how I am going to get through this. And the last proper workout that I've had was a run on Thanksgiving Day. It is now going into January. This will come out like end of January. The longest I can do is like not even a 1 mile walk. Like on a good day, which has been, I think I've probably gone on 6 walks in 3 months. Um, which again is totally fine. I just didn't expect that. I'm a very active person. I love my runs. I love being outside. I love eating, wholesome foods. I love my routines. And I have had to completely surrender and release control. And in the beginning of the episode, I said how releasing control has been a huge theme for me. And I know that's part of what this pregnancy is teaching me, which I'm grateful for because I love my routines. Like I have a really, long morning routine that I do. And I have a workout routine and a nighttime routine. And I know what foods I like to eat. And I've had to completely just let go of all of it and like still be okay with just what I'm able to do. And like the food that I'm eating, like the food has been insane. Like I was having the only thing that I could eat in the airport going to Ohio was Uncrustables, PB&J's Uncrustables. I think I had like 4 of those, like snacking on cereal and granola bars. And one time I like was really craving fries and I really wanted a burger. So Eric got me a burger and fries, which again, like is totally fine. But if you know me at all, that's just like not normally what I eat and like no judgment at all. I just love making, like my nourish bowls and quinoa salads and all of that kind of stuff. So the food has just been so crazy. Like bagels and cream cheese, like I haven't there's just been such bad food aversions. The smells, I can't even tell you. I just can't even tell you. And I do feel there is a part of me that feels like when I was in bed for those 12 days because I literally, I couldn't even think about getting up and like washing my face and brushing my teeth. Like my energy wasn't there. And when I did shower, I was physically shaking afterwards and had to throw up. Like, because even standing for that short period of time was like so taxing on my body and just so crazy. So I just totally surrendered to it, and I was just laying in bed and watching, I don't even know what I watched, like Avatar, and I've been binge watching Grey's Anatomy. I've been binge watching Orange is the New Black, like the just shows that I love, but I haven't watched in so long. And just allowing myself to fully be, because I've had zero capacity for output. And if you follow me on social media, like I haven't been able to post anything. Like normally I'm pretty consistent with posting. Like when I tell you I have had zero capacity for output, there has been zero capacity for output, because all of it's going to, growing what is going to grow into a baby. And when I was laying in bed for those 12 days, I'd get so emotional, and just like sometimes I wouldn't know why I was crying. Like I would just be very emotional and just let myself feel. And there's a part where I feel like I am grieving. And I think like my mind, I'm so excited. And like Eric and I are so excited. And there's times where I'm in prayer, and because the only thing that I can really do is pray and meditate. And those two things have really been helping me. And when I pray, I have such a sense of gratitude and love, like overflowing my body, and so connected to this soul that is in my belly, and just like feeling the whole process and having so much gratitude for the female body. And then there's parts where I'm just feeling really emotional, like grief, like I'm letting go of control. I'm letting go of the life that Eric and I have lived for a while, just being alone. Like Eric and I love each other, and like we love everything that we've created. I would never take our time back, and we've grown so much, and it's just been us. It's just been us. We don't have to think about anyone else. We just have to think about us. And I just think like that time, knowing that that time's coming to an end, knowing that it just being him and I is coming to an end, knowing that like my time isn't just my time anymore, just like my body isn't just my body anymore. Like it's quite literally fueling and feeding a fetus that's going to grow into a baby. Like it's not my body anymore. And I think just fully allowing myself to feel. And I think with that comes grief. And I don't feel like I really have heard a lot of women talk about that. And I think I just want to hold both things. I think there's so much excitement and gratitude and joy and love, and then grief and despair and sorrow and fighting for my life and what I've been feeling. And like, I feel like I know I have the capacity to hold both of those and with no judgment. And I hope if you have felt that too in your pregnancy, or if you are going to get pregnant on the road, that if you feel that, just know that that's okay. And I think that's really normal, but just not really talked about, because it is grieving of the old self, letting go. Like I will never be this version of me. And I know I'm only going to be cracked wide open and hopefully a better version of myself, but I'll never be this version again. And I just love, you know, who I am and what Eric and I have created and what I've created. And I know that's only going to shift and evolve. And I'm so grateful. And there's grief. And I think that's just been a part of why I have been forced by the universe, because I truly believe this is my guides also supporting me and like really slowing down to like allow my body and myself space and time to grieve properly and to give myself the rest that I need, and to fully take a step away from everything, like all work, all conversation, like everything that I've been putting input into, I've needed to completely take out, like all of my work, because I think I'm meant to show up differently. I think I'm meant to be a more embodied, evolved version. And I think I've just needed to fully take a step away and just be with myself and be with this, this experience. And yeah, it's just been really interesting. And I never could have predicted that this would have been my experience. And I'm really hoping, like I do feel I'm getting to the other side of the nausea, because the nausea is just the worst. And that's really what I've been experiencing, like vomiting and fatigue. And oh, it's just been so crazy. But I do feel like I'm getting to the other side. I was able to go for a walk outside yesterday. I feel like it's getting further and far between. And something I will say that has been really helpful, because I'm obviously going to the OBGYN and all of that. And my doctor recommended I take Unisom and B6. So B6 is a vitamin. Unisom is a sleep aid that has a component in it that helps with nausea, and I trust that they say that that is safe, and they really recommend that to women that struggle with a lot of nausea. So I have been taking Unisom and B6, and that has really helped with nausea. And then obviously everything that like has is already out there, like eating small meals throughout the day and not letting yourself get hungry and drinking water and ginger and all of the things. But yeah, it's just been a really wild ride. And I just feel like it's a part of shedding and letting go and complete surrender. So if you have struggled through your first trimester or through your whole pregnancy, just know that, oh my God, I see you. I'm with you. And oh, I honor you. And the female body is just so incredibly powerful and miraculous. Like this whole experience of being able to grow an embryo into a fetus, into a baby, and our bodies are just doing this without us having to consciously tell it what to do. The women, have to just surrender to the process and trust that our bodies know what they need to do to create a baby. And with that comes so much change in the female body, which we're just left to kind of, surrender to. And the nausea and fatigue and all of that is a natural thing that happens when you're creating a life. And it's a miracle and it's beautiful and it's amazing. And I'm so, so, so grateful to be experiencing it. And I do not take it lightly. I know it is an honor and I know it is a privilege, and I'm so grateful. And it's really hard. It's just really, really, really hard. It can be really hard for a lot of women, and that's been my experience. I just feel like there's days where I feel like I'm fighting for my life and I don't know if I can continue, and then I just tell myself that this is temporary and I can get through it. And so if you are going through that too, just know that it is temporary and you will get through it and it will all be worth it in the end. But I just really want to normalize it not being glamorous. And this is just me being really real and honest about my experience, what I've been going through. And yeah, I just hope that if you have struggled in your first trimester or have felt a sense of grief or anything like that, just know that I just want to normalize that too, because that's just not something that I've heard talked about. And there is, I do believe, a part of us as women that do die when we bring in these new souls. It's like we will never be the same versions of ourselves again when this baby is born. It's like a part of us dies when new life is created. It's like death, rebirth, and with that comes grief. And I think that's okay to allow space for it all and know that emotions are meant to come and go in waves. And obviously throughout this episode I got so emotional because like our hormones are also like pumping, and there's just so many emotions that come at this time too. And I just think allowing space for it all, giving yourself so much grace and getting support. I know the biggest thing for me is like really having to lean on my husband and my friends, and just like t- just showing up as me actually has, and this is what I'm going to end it on, because I have felt like shit, like I felt so low, so fatigued. And I think for me, especially like when I'm around my family, like when I went back to Ohio, it's like I want to be able to be present and like be chatty, and like I'm so used to making sure everyone is, you know, having a good time and asking people how they're doing and what's going on in your life, and trying to bring conversation and be interesting and share and all of that. But I genuinely had no capacity for output, and so a lot of the time was just me like sitting there being present and doing the best that I could with conversation. But that was kind of uncomfortable for me because I don't want, it's like me just showing up as I am. Like I don't have to do anything. No one expects anything of me. And I think that's uncomfortable because I just like want to give and I want to have something to offer, but just having to show up anyway and just be me and know that that's enough. Like that's enough has been another really beautiful lesson that I've learned. Is I just, no matter how I feel, if I'm not even feeling good, like that's okay. Like my presence is more than enough. That's okay. Like I don't have to be giving so much. Like I'm enough just as I am. And actually having to put that into practice has been really beautiful, challenging, but beautiful. And just like allowing that to kind of exist and be, and not feel pressure to like try and like make up for it or apologize for it. So yeah, I'm just really trying to, there's been a lot of lessons that have come through. I've really released control. Like it's been a huge thing of releasing control, which is a huge lesson that I needed to do. I just gotta, I'm safe. I'm always safe. I just gotta show up and be me. And yeah. So I just want to, that was very long. I was not expecting to go super long into this, but yeah, I'm just giving you a real raw life update, how I'm feeling, what I'm going through. I'm so excited to be pregnant, and Eric and I are so excited. And yeah, I'll be sharing the gender in the next couple weeks, or probably by the time this comes out, I'll probably be sharing this week on my socials. So if you want to know, head over there. And yeah, again, if you are unable to get pregnant too, I want to be so sensitive to that fact. I never want to seem like I'm complaining. I don't want anyone to feel bad for me in any capacity. That is not why I share this. I share this so if you're going through it, you can feel seen too, and know that you're not alone and how to navigate it, and know that it's temporary and I'm with you, and you just got to put one foot in front of the other and we'll get through this. And yeah, I'm so sensitive to the fact that it's a privilege and an honor, and I don't take it for granted. So I just want to always make sure I reiterate that too, because yeah, I'm just so grateful. But anyway, thank you all so much for listening. And with that, I will talk to you next week. Bye. As we wrap up today's episode, we want to extend our deepest gratitude for joining us on this journey. Your support does not go unnoticed. If you enjoyed this episode and find value in our conversations, please take a moment to leave a review. Your feedback not only helps us grow, but also allows us to reach more people who can benefit from our community of healing and support. Every review, every rating makes a difference. Thank you for being a part of the Multiple Truths podcast family. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of the Multiple Truths podcast. Keep speaking your truth and spreading your light. We love you, and we'll talk to you next Wednesday.